Hello everyone, today we are going to replicate this hero section of a company portfolio. So let's understand what a landing page is. So a landing page and what is a hero section is. So a landing page is nothing but the first page which you see whenever you enter a website. So let's say you type something called amazon.com on your browser. So the first page which you enter is called as a landing page, and the first section of a landing page is called as a hero section. So this is the hero section. So we are going to replicate this exact same thing using HTML and CSS. So before starting with the coding part, so let's understand and analyze how this is built and how many sections do we need and what are the elements or how many elements do we need in this. So let's analyze that part. And so this whole thing is the body. The whole section is the whole page is wrapped under the body. So inside body we have one for this hero section we have one big container. So this will be that huge container. So this is one big container, and inside this container we have two parts. So this is the upper part and this is the lower part. So this will be child 1 and this is child 2. So in this this whole thing is a parent, and this is child 1, this is child 2, and inside child 1 we again have two sections. So this is an header tag h1 or h2 or it may be anything, and this will be a p tag. So this is about child 1. So let's see about the child 2. So in child 2 we have three different sections. So this will be the section 1, this is the section 2, and this is the last section. So inside each section again we have subdivisions, and inside that subdivision we have again subdivisions. So what we can do is we can call this huge element as one div, and inside this this will be div 1, and this is div 2, this will be div 3, and so on for this as similar to HTML. And again these small containers will again be divisions. So all these things will be divisions. So in total we need 1, 2, the one for this child, 3 and 6. So in total we need 9 division tags and one h tag and one p tag. And inside this again we can use h tag, any tag which you want. Most preferably it will be a paragraph tag and then div tag or an h3 h4 tag. So let's start with this. Okay, so we have analyzed everything. So let's open the VS Code, and once you are in the VS Code just create a new file. I will name it index.html. You can name it as you wish, and I'll just start with the boilerplate. So this is the boilerplate, and I'll give the title as landing page or portfolio. Okay, so as soon as we have done this much, it is always recommended to check whether your HTML is working properly or not. So for this you guys have to download one extension called live server. So I've already installed that, and you can just I have disabled there. Instead of disable you will have one download button, so you can click on that download button and you can directly install that. After that here in the bottom you will see go live, and when you hover on that you will see click to run live server. So once you click on that, the default page will be opened in your default browser. So here you guys can see it is landing page / portfolio. So now I've confirmed that my file is running properly. So now let's start with the coding. So as we saw that landing page, we had one huge container. So I'll just name it as dot So I have one container, and inside that container I had two different sections. So child 1 and child 2. So this, we have the basic setup, and we'll just have a look whether it's properly working with the styles. So I'll go inside my head tag and I will add styles here. Okay. So first of all, we'll remove all the default styles. Okay. So now I have removed all the default style. We have to remove this because whenever you load any sample button or any container or any division tag in your HTML page, by default for every elements there will be certain amount of padding and margin given by default. So we have to remove that. That's why we are giving as margin 0, padding 0, and box is border box. So once we have removed the default styles, we'll go and style the body. So first I'll give the body to occupy the full viewport. So I will give it as 100%, or you can even use 100 view width, anything would work. And for height I will give it as 100 VH. So, and just to check if everything's working, I'll just give background color as red. So once we have saved this, when we open our browser, we should be able to see the full viewport in red color. So let's check if that's working. So yeah, as you can see, the full viewport has turned into red color. This means that our HTML file is working properly with the styles. Okay, so now we'll just remove this, and we want all the contents of our similar to this. If you can see in this page, we have huge body, and in that body everything is placed in the center. There's no everything is spaced evenly from here, from right, and from center. So to place this, basically we have to center the childs of the parent. So for this, as everyone knows, it's display flex, line items center, and justify content center. So here you can even use grid, but both are the same things. Anything would work. So yeah, and the body styles are done. So let's move on to the container. Okay, so in this container, first let's see what we have to build. As thought earlier, we need two sections. So this will be the section 1, and this is the section 2. So we have the child 1, child 2. So first we have to place this in the center. So we have already done that in the body tag. So let's see if it's actually placed in the center. So to check out, I'll just give this container as width as some 60%. And height as 80%, and to check it, I'll just give border 1 pixel red. So now we can see that we have created one div, and it is placed exactly in the center. So here you can see this is almost the same thing. We have created a div of some 60% and height with 80%, and it's placed in the center. So we have done the same thing even here. So now let's just start with the child component. So inside child component, we had an header called we add one header and a paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag was where innovation meets excellence. So let's just copy this from here and we'll paste it. So once we go to our page, we can see that everything is added up in the page, but it's all aligned to left because we don't have any styling. So let's just align it to the center and add proper styling to it. So first of all, I would just use the child 1, and with this child 1 I will add first I will align the text to the center. So to align text, we have to write text align center. So once we have written that, as we can see, everything is in the center now. So now we have to match the size of this and the size of the header. So to do that, we have to increase the size of the paragraph tag. So we can just inside my child 1, I would like to apply the style only for my paragraph. I don't want to select all the paragraphs across the DOM. I want to select only one particular paragraph, which is the direct child of child 1. So to do that, I will use closing angular bracket, and inside that, what this means is, inside child 1, all the direct childrens of paragraph. So I am targeting paragraph, all the direct childrens of child 1, and that should be paragraph. This line means that. So in that, I will give it as font size, maybe 15 pixel. Okay, 15 pixel is way too small, so we'll make it 25. Okay, now we can see that it's almost aligned, but it's a bit it's a bit high, so we'll just reduce it. Maybe 23 would work. Yeah, now it's perfect. So 23 is the perfect thing. So now we can see it's almost the same, but we just have to change the font. So for now, we'll just stick with some font. For child 1, I will give the font family as so. Yeah, if you guys have noticed one thing, as soon as we change the font family, the headers started to mismatch. This happens because each font style and each font has different stroke width in the alphabets. So we have to properly apply the font style for family first, and then we have to apply the font size. So let's just resize, or we can just make our header a bit more large, so it matches the style properly. So I'll do the same thing here. I will do child 1 and all the header tags inside child 1. So I will give it font size, let's say maybe 40 pixels. It's way too large. We'll maybe 35 pixels. Yeah, now it's looking perfect. So we have completed the child 1 part. So let's move with the child 2 part. So in child 2, as explained, we have 3 different sections. One for this, one for this the left side starts, the logo, and the right side starts. So first, create this left side starts. So it will be dot left, and the next one will be center, and the last one will be right. Okay, so now let's just test it out if everything's working. So I will give my child 2 to be width as full, I mean 100%. Height, we have to as it might have took some let's say it has took some 10%, so we'll give the child as 90%, and some background color, maybe red. Okay, so now we can see it's aligned properly. We have 2 different sections, child 1, child 2, and here we'll be working with the stats. Okay, so just to check if all the divs are being rendered properly, I will just add some style to it. For all the childs, I will give width. Okay, let's not give width now, as each section has to be given with different viewports. So I just had height as 100% and border of 1 pixel, solid red. So if we see here, instead of all the divs being next to next, everything is stacked one upon another. So here's the first child, here's the second child, and here's the third child. So why is this happening? Because we have not even given any styles for it. We have not told the browser to place it next to next. So to do that, we just have to go inside this child component. We'll make it as display flex, and once we write this, so we can see that all the elements have been placed in the corner, right? So we don't want this to happen. We want to give proper width to each of them. Now it's happening because we have not defined width for any of the components, so it is taking the width as 0, but we have defined height as full, so it is taking the full height of the component. So to do that, what we'll do is, as we have already given the names, so I will go with left, left, and also right. Both will have the width of let's say 20%, and dot center will have width 60%. So now if we can see, we have divided the space evenly, right? So this is one part, this is one part, and this is one part, and if you can observe, it is overflowing. That means that this is not occupying only 10% of this whole container, it is occupying some more. So to fix that, we have two ways. Either we can hide this, we can forcefully hide this, or we can properly give width for both of them. So to do that, inside child1 I will give the height as let's say 15%, and in the 100% we have the left out is 85, so I'll write it as 85. So if we can see now, it's properly aligned and everything is proper. And let's have a look at this. So in this section, we can see that this is occupying a bit more than what we expected, and even this has a bit more less of the space. So we'll just increase the width of both of the things. So instead of 20%, I will give it as maybe 30%, and this will be having 30, 30, 60, so 40%. Yeah, so now it's a bit too more, so we'll reduce this. So we'll make this as 50%. This will be 25%. Yeah. So now it almost seemed to be perfect, and we can fit in all the stats here and the logo and the other stats. So let's start with the stats part. So inside my left, we need basically inside this whole container, we have, so inside this whole container, left container, so this is, we have called this as left. So inside this we have 3 childs. So this will be one div, as talked before, so this will be div 1, 2 and 3. And inside each div, again we have 2 different components. So we can give this as a p tag, and we can call this as some h4. So basically I need 3 division tags, 1 paragraph tag, and 3 paragraph tags and 3 h4 tags. So let's do that. So I need 3 div tags. I will name it as stats, So inside 3 of the div tags, I will have one paragraph tag and one h4 tag. So here I can write projects done. So here it was 140 plus. So I would like to just copy this whole thing and we can change it later. Once the styles are done, then we can easily change this. So I have copied it 3 times. So now, yeah, everything is being aligned here, but we have to give proper styling. We have to change the font style, we have to change the font family and divide everything evenly. So I will select this stats, dot stats. In this stats, I want it to first I will change the font family. So yeah, now the font family is changed, and I want all the division tags to take width as full, that is 100%, and each section should take equal amount of space. So if we divide the 100% by 33% by 3, then we'll have 33%. So I'll just give the height as 33.33%. So yeah, now as we can see, everything is placed evenly and everything is aligned evenly. So we have to align it in the center and we have to increase the font size of this number. Dot stats. Inside my stats, I will target p tag first. So here we have a light gray color with placed in, it is placed to right, not in the center, it is placed to the left side. So we'll just change the font weight as it is bold here. So we'll do the same thing. We'll change the font as, let's say, 700 and font size as 15 pixels and the color of the text as gray. So yeah, what we can say is it is a bit more larger and the font family varies a bit. So we'll increase the font size, we'll make it 18 pixels, and we'll increase the font size of the numbers. So to increase that, we'll do stats, inside stats all the h4s, and inside that I want font size to be, let's say, 100 pixels. Oh, it's way too large, we'll make it 70. Yeah, so 70 is working fine. And yeah, so here we can observe that the text itself has a different font size and the plus has a different font size. So to do this, we have to apply different style for the numbers and different style for the plus symbol. So to do that, we'll just divide this header into 2 different parts. So inside I will select all the headers, just make this as 2 different parts. So I will wrap this inside the span tag. So similarly, I will make this as plus, and I will just apply the same thing here. Yeah, so now all the plus have come down, but if you want it to be placed next to the number, so to do this, we know it's very simple, we just have to give it as flex. So I'll go with let's give this head no need. Okay, inside our stats. Okay, we have already have that. So I will give the display property to be flex, and I will align all the items to center and justify everything to center. So yeah, now we can see it is both have different we can apply different style for both of them, and it's almost it's looking the same, as it's seeming as to be both are in the same both are wrapped in the same container. So we'll just target the span tags. So inside stats I have h4, and inside h4 I have span tag. So now what we can see is inside my h4 I have two different spans. So I can't apply it only for this span. So to tackle this we have two ways. So either we can give an class name for the span as maybe symbol, or we can do it using the pseudo selectors. So we'll just first we'll try it out the class, the easy part, that is giving a class. So I'll give the class as symbol, and instead of selecting span I will directly write it as now I will reduce the font size, let's say some 20 pixels. It's way too small, we'll make it 30. Yeah, so now both have different size, and now we'll look into the another approach which is efficient but a bit complicated. So we'll remove this, and we'll also remove the class name. So what I will do is dot stats all the headers, and inside span tag I'll use the pseudo selector, and I will target only the second child. So for that I have to write nth, or I can even target the last child. So I will just target the last child, nth last child, and I will apply the styles here. Okay, it's giving some error, that's fine. Font size 30 pixel. So for some reason it is not being applied, so we'll just check it in the dev tools. So I will inspect the span. Okay, it's not showing here, that means we have some mistake in this. So we'll just figure out the syntax is correct. Nth last child. Or else we can even use nth child of 2. Now what I have written is inside stats target all the h4s, and inside all the h4s target span tag. But for span tag I have given one condition, that is nth child of 2. What this means is inside all the for all the span tags, so let it be 100 span tags. So for all the span tags which are divisible by 2 or which are even, all those will have the style which are written inside this block. So what we have achieved through this is we didn't add any styles to any extra classes. We have just wrote the code efficiently, a bit more efficiently. So instead of defining 6 different classes and applying the style using class, we have followed a much more efficient way. Okay, so this part is done. So now we'll do the same thing even to the right side. So I'll just copy the whole thing and I will paste it inside the right container. Okay, so yeah, now you can see that almost everything is same. We have just took this and we have pasted it there. So if you can observe in this, all the tags have been aligned to right side, and even these numbers and this paragraph tag is aligned to right side. So to do that, I will just take the right, whatever content is there inside right, just align all the text to right side. Yeah, now we can see that it's aligned to the right side, but the problem is the text is not being aligned. So what's the reason for this? So to solve this problem, we'll open the DevTools and we'll just have a look that why it's not being aligned to the right side. So if we go and hover here, so you can see that it is taking the full viewport. As you can see, it is taking the full viewport, and you have these two sections. Okay, so we have these a bit more different color here. So what this means is this is a flex container and everything is justified to the center. That's why we are not able to see anything. So what we can do is we can just justify this to end, or we can remove the styles and we can align the text. So I would just justify it to end, because if we just align it, then it would not be in the center. So just to do that, I will where is that center? Yeah, so I will justify this to end. Now if you guys can observe, we are going to fall in another problem. If you guys want to guess, you can guess what the problem might be if we change this class. So the problem is, now we can see that both the texts are aligned to right side, but I want only this part to be aligned to right, but I don't want this to be aligned. So to do that, we'll remove this style. We don't want to justify it to end. What I will do is I will just add text. Even if we write text align, as everything is h tag, everything will be aligned to right. So that's why what we have to do is I will target only the left container, and I will give text align as left. Okay, so now what's happening is, here we have given the text align to be right, as the text has to be aligned to right, but here it is not being aligned, right? But actually it is being aligned to right, but as this whole container doesn't take the full width of the parent, we have not given anywhere it has to be width full or width 100%. That's why it is taking only the space which it requires. So a small amount of space, only this much is took by this container. That's why it is aligning it to right, but we don't see it as aligned to be right. So if we can inspect here, as told, it's not taking the full viewport. So to do this, what we will do is, I will inside all the stats, I want, okay, we have given here off. Okay, so it's not the stats tag, it's the main wrapper. So the main wrapper is okay, we have given. Okay, so this is just a flex container, but this h4 tag is not taken the full viewport. Here's an empty space, so you have to give the width as full for this container. I'll just target this and I will give it as okay. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll just add the styles. Actually, the problem is flex. Flex doesn't allow you to. You can either align it to align it in the center or align it to the end. What we can just split it, or we can remove the flex. So removing flex would not be feasible because we have to place the place exactly to the viewport. So to match this, what we will do is. First, we'll remove this. We'll comment this for now. So we'll first fix this part, and then we'll go into the. We'll look into that. So as soon as I've removed that, we can see that everything is aligned here. So first, I will just. So to just place it in the center, we'll just add this as center. Now we have to define the span tag, this to be full viewport. So I'll just make it as full viewport. Okay. It's not stats, I guess. We have needed something else. Okay. All the inside right. So inside right, we'll take all the h4s and spans, and only the first span. So I will give it as width 100%. Okay, the styles have not yet been applied. We'll just have a look why. All right, inside. Inside right, target all the h4s. Okay, so inside right we don't have any direct h4s, so it should be dot stats, and inside all the stats, all the h4s. Yeah. So now it's aligned to the right side, and we have to align this to its left side. So I'll just copy the same code. So yeah. Okay, so I'll just copy this and paste it here. Yes. So now the span tag has took its full width, and now we can see that it is placed exact to extreme right side. We'll just try to get it next to it. So we'll just see, as it is taking the full viewport, this is being pushed to its extreme right side. So to solve this, we have to reduce the size of this. So I can, instead of writing it this way, we can do is width auto. Okay, now it's placed to its center. Or else what we can do is we can stick with the previous one. And okay. Okay. Yes. So now everything is aligned. The setup is ready. Now we can change the font family. So as you can see, there's some thin font family for this. So to add that, we'll just most probably it is Oswald font family. So to add that CDN, we'll go to Google Fonts. So once we go to Google Fonts, we'll download. We'll search for Oswald. Yeah. So yeah, here it is. So we can download a later version of this. Yeah, here it is. So it is extra light 200. Now we will get this font and we'll get embed code and we'll copy this one. And we'll paste it on top of our styles. Yeah. So now for all the numbers, basically for all these numbers, we have to target these numbers. So this is a span tag. So for all the spans, we have given the style somewhere maybe. Okay. So dot stats, all the h4 and all the span. Font family, you can just copy it from the link itself. Yeah, now it's applied. We just have to make it thinner. Yeah, now it's matching the same thing, but the plus mark is much more bold and it's much more big. So again the same thing. So I will increase the font size and font weight as 500. Yeah. So it's 500. So it's just it's a bit apart. We'll just reduce the width. It's 80%. Okay. So we'll make it 60. A bit less. 57. Yeah. So this part is done. We'll just copy all. We can copy or we can leave it as it is because it's the same thing. You just have to change the text. So what we'll do is we'll just add a logo in between. So in the center part, let's say I'm taking an img tag. For now, I will just I'll copy this image. Better, I'll download it. I'll just add it in my downloads, and I will just drag and drop this here. Okay, so now we have the logo source as logo new.png. Yeah, now we can see the logo, but it's not placed in the center and it has some alignment issues. So we'll target this center. dot center display flex. Yeah, now the logo is in the center but it's overflowing, so we'll reduce the width of the logo. Dot center image width 90%. Okay, so we'll just clear these borders. Okay, so now we can see that it's almost the same thing, but we just have an extra 3D logo here. So to add this 3D logo, we need to learn something called 3JS, and it's very complicated to implement it inside an HTML. So for that we need some frameworks, so such as the most trending one is Munstack. So we can learn Munstack, and to if you don't know Munstack, then we have our own course. The link is in the description. You can directly enroll to that course right now. So thank you for watching the video.